Imagine the first time someone tamed a fire, built a wheel, or crafted a tool. These innovations, seemingly simple by today's standards, were once revolutionary. Yet, these advancements did not happen all at once. They were the culmination of countless smaller firsts that built upon one another over time. Today, we're taking a trip through time to explore all those game-changing firsts that shaped the world as we know it. Join me as we take a look at some of the most mind-blowing firsts in history. Number 1. The first written language. The first known written language was created in ancient Mesopotamia, over 5,000 years ago. Known as Sumerian cuneiform, it was a system of wedge-shaped symbols used to represent sounds in words, making it a revolutionary breakthrough in human communication. The ancient Sumerians were the first to develop writing, using cuneiform to record religious texts, laws, myths, and business transactions. What is particularly fascinating about Sumerian cuneiform is that it was used for over 3,000 years and influenced other early writing systems, including the Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian scripts. Number 2. First person to prove Earth orbits the Sun. Well, technically, Aristarchus was the first person to propose a heliocentric model of the universe, even though his ideas were largely ignored at the time. But it was Nicolaus Copernicus who actually proved that the Earth revolves around the Sun, using mathematical calculations and astronomical observations to support his theory. Copernicus' model not only corrected the inaccuracies of the geocentric model, but also paved the way for further advancements in astronomy, including the work of Galileo Galilei and Johannes Kepler. Copernicus' ideas were revolutionary and helped to usher in a new era of scientific thinking. Number 3. First European to land in America. Leif Erikson, a Norse explorer from Iceland, is often credited as the first European to set foot in America, long before Christopher Columbus famously sailed across the Atlantic. Leif's journey took place around the year 1000 AD. Making him over 400 years ahead of Columbus in reaching the New World. Leif himself grew up in Greenland, and, according to sagas passed down through generations, he set out on a voyage across the Atlantic after hearing tales of lands to the west. Leif sailed to what we now know as North America, landing in a place he called Vinland, which is believed to be somewhere along the coast of present-day Newfoundland, Canada. While it's unclear exactly where Leif landed, archaeological evidence has confirmed the existence of a Viking settlement at Lonsox Meadows, a site that dates back to around the year 1000, which supports the idea that Leif's voyage was indeed successful. Though Leif Erikson's explorations were overshadowed by the later voyages of Columbus, his discovery is an important chapter in the story of European exploration and the early history of North America. In fact, Leif Erikson Day is celebrated on October 9th in the United States, honoring his achievements and contributions to exploration. Number 4. First man in space. In 1961, the Soviet Union's Yuri Gagarin became the first human to journey into outer space and orbit the Earth. Gagarin's historic flight lasted just 108 minutes, but it was a groundbreaking achievement that captivated the world and marked the beginning of the space age. The cosmonaut was launched aboard the Vostok 1 spacecraft, a small spherical capsule equipped with life support and communication systems. Gagarin orbited the Earth once before re-entering the atmosphere and landing safely in a rural field in Kazakhstan. Number 5. First woman in space. Just 2 years after Yuri Gagarin's historic flight, the Soviet Union continued its trailblazing in the space race by sending Valentina Tereshkova to space. In 1963, Tereshkova became the first woman to journey into outer space, breaking another barrier for gender equality. Tereshkova, a former textile factory worker and amateur skydiver, was handpicked from a group of more than 400 female applicants to join the Soviet space program. She spent nearly 3 days in space aboard the Vostok 6 spacecraft, orbiting the Earth 48 times and performing various scientific experiments. Tereshkova's mission was a resounding success, and she returned to Earth a hero, receiving numerous awards and accolades for her achievements. Number 6. First country to grant women the right to vote. The first country to grant women the right to vote was New Zealand, in 1893. Under the leadership of prominent suffragists like Kate Shepherd, women in New Zealand campaigned tirelessly for their voting rights. The movement faced significant opposition from those who believed that a woman's place was in the home, and not in politics. However, the suffragists' relentless advocacy, which included petitions, public speeches, and debates, gained momentum and support over time. The key turning point came when a petition with nearly 32,000 signatures, an impressive number for a country with a relatively small population, was presented to Parliament. On September 19, 1893, the Electoral Act was signed into law, giving women the right to vote in parliamentary elections. While women in New Zealand could vote, they did not gain the right to stand for Parliament until 1919, marking the next step in the journey toward full political equality. Number 7. First human to skydive from space. On October 14, 2012, Austrian skydiver Felix Baumgartner made history by becoming the first human to skydive from the edge of space. As part of the Red Bull Stratus mission, Felix ascended to an altitude of 39 kilometers above Earth's surface, riding in a helium balloon. From this extraordinary height, he jumped out of a capsule and fell toward Earth at speeds that broke the sound barrier, reaching an estimated 1,357.64 kilometers per hour. This jump not only set multiple records but also had significant scientific implications. Baumgartner's freefall helped to test equipment for future high-altitude jumps and provided valuable data on human survival in extreme conditions. Number 8. First fast food restaurant. The first recognized fast food restaurant is White Castle, which opened in 1921 in Wichita, Kansas. Founded by Billy Ingram and Walter Anderson, White Castle is widely credited with pioneering the modern fast food industry. Their innovation? Standardized food preparation, a consistent menu, and affordable pricing, all of which appealed to the growing urban workforce. White Castle's signature dish, the small square hamburger known as the Slider, was sold for just 5 cents at the time. The founders focused on creating a clean and efficient dining environment, to overcome the stigma associated with food safety in public eateries during that era. But if we dig even deeper, ancient fast food traces can be found in history. For example, in ancient Rome, street vendors sold ready-to-eat meals like bread and porridge, and in 18th century England, fish and chip shops began catering to the working class. White Castle may not have the international dominance of McDonald's today, but its place as the first modern fast food restaurant is secure in the annals of culinary history. Number 9. First cloned animal. The first cloned animal was a sheep named Dolly, who was born on July 5, 1996, at the Roslin Institute in Scotland. Dolly was the result of a revolutionary process called somatic cell nuclear transfer, in which the nucleus of an adult cell is transferred to an egg cell that has had its nucleus removed. Dolly was created from the cells of a 6-year-old Finn Dorset sheep, and she was named after the singer Dolly Parton. Her birth sparked intense controversy and ethical debates about cloning and genetic engineering. Number 10. First domesticated animal. The first domesticated animal was likely the dog, with evidence suggesting that domestication occurred more than 30,000 years ago. Dogs were originally domesticated from wild gray wolves in Eurasia, and over time, they evolved to become man's best friend. Domesticated dogs were initially used for hunting and guarding livestock, but they quickly became companions and pets. The unique relationship between humans and dogs likely developed because of the animal's pack mentality, which allowed them to form strong bonds with human groups. Thanks for watching, and Happy New Year!